Welcome back, Bulldog fans. As we head into episode 2 here, we're going to look into the Big 12 championships coming up.
Yeah.
And when we last were together, we talked about kind of the season up to this point, but now this is the time of year that we really work for the entire year. Is this next month, our conference championship and the NCAA tournament. So
yeah,
it's a big time ahead coming up this week.
Yeah, it's really what it's all about, and our guys I think they're pretty excited about the opportunity to go and wrestle. A lot of them, it'll be their first time wrestling in the conference tournament, so it'll be a fun experience to be a part of and have our guys. I think they're in pretty good position to get a lot of guys qualified for the national tournament.
Yeah, and the NCAA allocations were brought out this past week. And for those of you who don't know how that works, there's 33 spots at each weight class. And the NCAA committee dishes out about 27 to 28 spots right now to all the conferences. So right now at 125, we have 4 spots out of those 28 that have been allocated for the Big 12. And so as we go into the Big 12 tournament here, at 125, we have 4 spots given. We will probably be 11 or 12 seed.
Yeah.
Because we haven't been in the lineup very long. So we're going to definitely have to go in here and be ready to compete.
Yeah.
And steal a spot.
Yeah, especially at this weight, for sure. We just, but I always think that, the guys that are the most dangerous are the guys that don't have much to lose. And that might be the case in this weight, where Jeremy really hasn't wrestled that much this year. And, I don't think it's kind of a good thing in a way because people don't really know what to expect from him. But yeah, he definitely has got a little hill to climb a little bit.
Yeah, you just got to come in there and ready to battle and fight and really just take advantage of the opportunity he has in front of him. So
yeah,
excited for him. And then at 133, we have 8 spots have been allocated to the Big 12. And here again, we have Lawrence Sines coming in. He hasn't wrestled a lot at the weight class, so he can't be seeded very high, so he's probably going to be about a 9 seed. But here's a guy that I feel we can place in the top 8 here and qualify ourselves for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's a guy with a big upside, and he wrestles hard and comes in every day in practice and loves being there, loves being in the room and always getting better, and it shows when he competes. He's really putting in a lot of time this year, and he hasn't been at the weight very long, so yeah, his seeding will be low, but he's probably a guy you don't want to run into early in the tournament.
Yeah, so excited for his opportunity. At 41, there have been 5 spots given to the Big 12, and DJ earned one of those spots.
Yep.
Will probably be a number 5 seed in the Big 12, so he's going to have to come in, and there can't be any letdowns really. I mean, I feel he can place higher than that.
For sure.
But he definitely can't have any letdowns. But just really focus on when you go into these situations, you got to control what you can control.
Yeah.
And you can't worry about everyone else. You can't look ahead in the bracket. And I think that's where we're at with a lot of our guys. We just take what we have in front of us. Settle your emotions, and just control the things you can control.
Yeah, and I would say DJ's probably one of our smartest wrestlers on our team. He always knows the situation, and his match strategy is really high. He's got a really high wrestling IQ, is what they call it, and it showed up to this point. He's had a lot of really good wins, and all his losses have been, very close, where he's been in all those matches. So I look to see him kind of get over the hump a little bit on a couple of his guys that he might have lost really close matches early in the year. So I feel really good about his spot and where he's at going into this tournament.
And then at 149, we have 5 spots have been given to the Big 12, and I think Greg will be the number 6 seed, projected number 6 seed. but Greg's a guy that he brings the effort every time he brings the fight, and I really think that he's got a good opportunity to punch himself into the NCAA tournament and head to Minneapolis in a couple of weeks. But just gotta again control what we can control and go in here and take control of the matches.
Yeah, and he's done that pretty well this year. He goes out hard and early in the matches and usually gets control and looks to score early and kind of dominate the positions. And I think he's got the ability to knock a couple guys off and finish well and get into the national tournament for sure.
I do too. Now 157, we have those 5 spots given to the Big 12. Here last year there was 1 spot for the Big 12. We got 5 spots this year in the Big 12 with really the same field.
Yeah,
it's the same group of guys, but
with maybe one guy different.
The guys have really done a lot better job at competition throughout the year. So we got 5 spots with the Big 12. Jacob will probably be a 5 seed as my projection. Yeah. And kind of like DJ here, I mean, he's competed well all year. He's been consistent for the most part all year long. You always know he's going to show up at the matches, and I feel very good about Jacob heading into the Big 12s. Yeah, I'm excited for him.
Yeah, no, Jacob's always been, our leader of our team, by showing it, not always vocal about it, but, he does everything right, and I think this is a time of year where it's going to pay off for him.
And I think he's been motivated from last year not making it to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
he's been motivated all year to get this thing done and really go in here and try to win a Big 12 championship, not just qualify.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something that's been on his mind a lot.
So, and then at 165, the 4 spots have been allocated to the Big 12, and I think Adam Kemp will be seated, I believe, we seated 5th, I believe, and but has the ability here to really, I feel, come in here and wrestle with anyone in this weight class.
Yeah, no, he's shown it. Earlier this year, he's lost some heartbreakers and just kind of gives up some positions a little bit where I think he's still learning and growing, and I think the more he sees wrestling, the higher his ceiling is going to be. So
yeah, I think we just need to see the consistency in him putting 1, 2, 3, 4 matches together, and that's just he's got to refocus after every situation, after every match, and just get ready for the next one. And I think he'll do that. I think he's a pretty determined guy and knows what he needs to do. So
yeah, for
excited for him. 174, there's been 5 spots allocated to the Big 12. Jackson will be seated probably a 7th seed.
Yep.
And here's we got a couple guys at the weight that didn't earn spots. Well, one was Jackson, and one was Joe Smith, who's a 2-time All-American. Both these guys have been national qualifiers in the past, but because of injury, haven't been in the lineup all year. And so, there's going to be a couple guys here that don't make it into the tournament, or at least not right away. They may get pulled back in later, but your best chance is to qualify right here in the top 5 at the tournament. But I think Jackson is looking not just to qualify here; he's looking to go in here and try to win a Big 12 championship.
Yeah, and knowing Jackson, he competes with anybody. He's right up there with the best guys, and I would say this weight is probably the one weight in the conference tournament that could be wrestled at 4 or 5 different times. You might get 4 or 5 different champs. It's going to be who shows up, and I know Jackson loves the opportunity to compete, and he's shown that in the past that he steps it up. And so being the 7th seed, I would say he probably competes a lot higher than that. So I look for him to compete well and hopefully be pushing to get a title and get into the national tournament.
And then at 184, I believe there's 5 spots given, and we'll probably be a 8 or 9 seed. Hunter Cruz will probably be 8 or 9 seed, and but I don't think we've wrestled a lot of these guys because we were out of the lineup for a sickness.
Yep.
We're up a weight. We haven't wrestled a lot of guys at the weight, so we're probably going to have a lower seed going into it because of that. But I know one thing, that Hunter will fight for it, and if he's going to go down, he's going down with a fight.
Yeah.
I know that. And
Yeah.
so he's going to. I'm excited for him and his first opportunity here at the Big 12s and see what he can do.
Yeah, and he's the guy that you want your whole team. If you get a whole team of Hunter Cruzes that just fight and show that effort and really fight to win, and you can teach them the wrestling side of things and the technique and stuff, but the fight is the one thing you can't really teach, and I feel like Hunter has that, and he always has, and he brings that every time he competes. So
yeah, he's a true bulldog for sure.
Yep.
And then at 197, there's 6 spots given, and Isaiah Perez will probably be a 10 seed, I believe. And here again, he hasn't been in the lineup very much. That's why we're lower seated at a lot of these weights, just because we've been in and out of the lineup and with health reasons. So, this is a tough weight though in the Big 12. There's no doubt about it. This is one of the tougher weights in the Big 12 when you look at guys that have competed well on a national level. So he's definitely got his work cut out for him. But I know he's going to come in here with the right attitude and step in here and give it his best shot for sure. Yeah,
he's a guy that gives you a lot more than maybe you would expect. So, I think it'd definitely be tough. He'll probably have some tough matches early on, but I think he just needs to break through maybe 1 or 2 of them, and with more spots, it gives you more opportunity to punch your ticket in there. So we'll see how he does.
Yeah. And then at heavyweight, there were 7 spots given to the Big 12, a very competitive weight in the Big 12. Josh Hoka will be probably a 2 or 3 seed. But I think Josh is going in here with one thing in mind, and that's to win a Big 12 championship.
Yeah, there's
I don't think there's any. He's going in there for anything less than that. And he shouldn't. So he could be the first one to win a Big 12 championships for Fresno State.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think he's another guy that I don't think the rest of the season has really mattered to him up to this point. He's just competing for that national title, and a Big 12 title is just one step in that process. So yeah, he'll be going in to win it for sure.
So yeah, we're excited to head it in here. We got overall, there's I think 54 spots for the Big 12 allocated for the NCAA tournament. So we'll see how many we can advance through to Minneapolis in 2 weeks. So hopefully we got 8 to 10 guys going. And with that, I'll let you hear from our athletes on what their thoughts are going into the Big 12 and their predictions.
I came in without the best accolades, I guess, and there's a couple of other guys in my spot that I've lost to in high school. So coming in, I really had to just push myself and work really hard to not really play catch up, but just to really be able to compete with those guys. And I think that the last couple of years, just trying to get better and trying to be the guy. It's just I think it's been beneficial. It's obviously going to be a tough tournament, but I'm just kind of looking to take it one match at a time, and then just kind of let the results just take care of itself. I got good partners here, so I mean I feel like they're gonna get me ready. Yeah, I'm just going to Big 12, just really trying to compete with those guys, and just I know I'm probably gonna be the last seed. I haven't really wrestled too much this year, but I just want to go out there and really just bang with those guys, and just want to go out there and go hard.
I started the year off at 141. I planned on going 141s. I lost a close wrestle off to DJ, and DJ's a really tough competitor. And I had many opportunities throughout the season that I didn't really quite seize at 141s. I was always having trouble. I'd be right there with the top guys at 141, but I would always I'd never take advantage of the opportunities that I had. And it was just like, as the season went on, I noticed like DJ was just climbing and climbing and climbing. He's beating ranked guys, and it's just like I had no other choice. Like I had to find a way in the lineup. So my coach Joe always talked to me about dropping down to 33s, and I when I first got here, I was like, heck no, I would not do it. But I had to really sacrifice what did I really want to do. If I want to be an All-American or national champ, I really got to sacrifice and put things online that I'm not willing to do before. I guess as I started wrestling at 133s, I'm getting in these close matches with these top ranked guys, and it's giving me a little bit more perspective, and I'm learning as we go. I just know every single match that I've wrestled against a ranked guy, I've gotten closer and closer, and I just going into Big 12s, I have a lot of confidence in myself, and just I just gotta go out there and wrestle. And I know I can beat 133s is open at Big 12s. I know I can go out there and just win it.
So I mean, yeah, being from the Valley, I mean, and my dad wrestling here, I always thought of coming to Fresno State or wish they had a program, and then through my whole recruiting process, it was just talked about it coming back. Then my senior year is when they hired Troy Steiner. And I knew Steiner was a great coach, but that was the only thing, was he just had a coach. He still had a full year of recruiting. And that was right as I was graduating, he got hired. So it was kind of a tough situation for me to stay back for, it would really only just be Steiner, and it takes a whole village, the saying. It takes a lot of people and team support to get to where you want to go. So yeah, I went away for 2 years to Utah, and I loved it there. But now once Fresno State was developed a little bit, and I had the opportunity to come back, I was like, hey, I jumped on it, and ever since I've been back, it's been, I mean, the best experience of my wrestling career. It's helped me a ton, and this season, last year when I came back, I had to get knee surgery, so I didn't really wrestle at all last year. And then so coming into this year, I was really motivated to kind of, like you say, kind of live the legacy, from being here, my dad wrestling here. I just want to perform, show out, and so this season's all about, I mean, kind of just taking it each match, one match at a time, try to think of it as it's just wrestling. Don't overthink it, because when you overthink things, you get stressed out, and that's when it mentally drains you. So it's hey, it's just wrestling, my family still loves me, I get to wrestle, I have the privilege to wrestle, so more of that aspect of, I just get to wrestle. So it's really helped me throughout my season of just, even when I'm wrestling those top ranked guys, and it's just kind of hey, it's just another match, take it the same as it would be if I was wrestling in the room, I guess, so don't overthink it, because then you get too stressed out. And going to the Big 12s, I mean, I got a few tough guys in my weight, the top 2-3 guys are all ranked top 12 in the country. So, I just got to get in there and do as best I can. I mean, hopefully, obviously, place top 5 and make it to nationals. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, but hopefully I get in there and, make the finals, or, even 3rd, 4th. I want to do better than my projection, because I know I'm seeded 5th, I think. So I want to definitely outperform my projection, and so just excited for this week. It's a big week, just getting into Big 12s, and hopefully do as best we can and get to the nationals. I mean, that's what you work for all year, is to get to nationals, and hopefully be an All-American this year. That's the ultimate goal. So.
Okay, yeah, but I dropped down to 149s this year. I just felt like it was the best position for me and for the team as well. I used to wrestle 157, so it's been a pretty big cut. But this 49 spot, I feel good at. I feel solid at. I'm just ready to podium. I'm just ready to, get to it for Big 12s. Yeah, no, I got top 5 guys, and, at this tournament too as well, at Big 12s. But I plan on upsetting all of them, and that's what I need to do in order just to keep moving forward, I wrestle every single match like it's my last match, and, keep moving. There's a couple of matches I feel like I really match up well. Like Jared Deegan, I'm ready to go, I kind of got caught the last one, but, me and my coaches figured out a game plan. Same with Thompson, Alvarez, I'm ready to go for him and everything. So, but no, I'm ready to get down to it.
So last year, if anything, it just really taught me, you have to go out there and earn those wins, and really in the postseason, it restarts, you don't, just because you beat a guy before, or maybe it was close to the guy you killed, it doesn't matter. That guy doesn't care, coming out thinking he has a chance against you. So I think that's what really taught me is it's postseason's kind of restarts, and you have to go out there and earn your spot. So this year I know that, and I need to get fast starts and really impose my will on guys. So this year for the Big 12s, I want to really impose my will right off the get-go. I mean, I want to make guys really feel me in just that first period and think they want out, like they don't have a chance, and they want their season to be over. So yeah.
Yeah, I started in high school, and it's been a journey of confidence. I feel like I have the ability to really compete with anybody, but it's confidence now. So, because I know people have experience on me, but if I believe in my abilities, I really think I can compete with anybody, even though I started late or didn't start as early as everybody else. Yeah, my dad, he's three-time world champion, three-time NCAA champion. He was in the finals all 4 years of the NCAA tournament, and he has lived a life where he's been really successful in wrestling and gained a lot from it, and I'm starting to gain more from it too. It's definitely a rewarding experience. I'm going to take what he's taught me into Big 12s and what these coaches have taught me in the Big 12s and just wrestle free. I'm confident in my abilities, and I've learned a lot.
So yeah, ended the year last year pretty well, qualifying for nationals. Unfortunately, I didn't win a match. I went 0-2 there, so that kind of left a little bitter taste and left me, pretty hungry for this year. And I think I had a really good summer, put in some really good training. And towards the end of last year, I kind of had an idea I wanted to drop down a weight. I just felt a little bit undersized and just wasn't really the right fit. So I made the switch right away, and things were going good right away, and unfortunately had an injury, but stuff happens. So we just got healthy. I had really good support with, my trainers and my coaches, and they got me back to 100% pretty quick. And yeah, I think being out for that long, Brandon Martino on our team, he filled in that spot great, and he just stepped up. And I think that was something that is really something that helped me get back to kind of where I was at before I got injured. Just having that little bit of competition in the room, where you got someone that can push you, where that they can get the job done just as well as you. So there's no time to sit around and be comfortable. So I think that really helped me a lot, and it's definitely given me a good little final push here going into the end of the season. So I think, I'm excited. It's a long season, so I don't think dwelling on, an injury or, how things went earlier or, any of that stuff is all that important, because it's just about peaking at the right time, So I think everything's coming into, coming to light real at perfect timing right now. After last season, not having the results I wanted at the NCAA tournament, definitely the goal last summer and this whole season has been to get on that podium. So I think I got the right support and the right training right now, and I feel really, really confident to get myself up there.
So my true freshman year, I got injured. My shoulder went out on me, and I got surgery on it, and it was actually my first injury I've ever had. I've never gotten surgery or anything, and it was tough on me for a couple months. It was tough on me mentally, because I've never sat out before. I've always been the guy or whatever in high school, no matter what sport it was. And so I sat out all 6 months, and then towards the end of it, I started to realize this is it flew by. The recovery process flew by, and I was already healthy again. And I was just trying to play catch up, and I kind of got obsessed with it over the summer, just obsessed with weightlifting, wrestling, and moving into preseason, I just rolled. I was in better shape than some of the guys, and yeah. And Big 12s, I'm just taking it all in. I'm super excited, super blessed to be in this position, and I have the only goal that I have is I want to go to the NCAA championships. And once I get there, then I'll reevaluate to be an All-American. But I know that I put in the sweat equity and the work to go to the NCAAs.
Some people say that I'm kind of small for the 197-pound weight class, and I'll like come in weighing lighter, but I've always been kind of smaller, and that's always kind of been like an advantage of mine because I've been like a little faster, a little more conditioned than all these other like bigger guys. It takes a lot to move around. So I wouldn't see it as I'm too small for the weight class, but that I can hold my own and at least compete with these bigger guys. And coming into the Big Ten tournament, seeded or projected number 10, I'm hoping to at least get on the podium and make it to the NCAA tournament, place top 6.